With that, the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Jackson, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Thank you so much for your time in coming out today. To start this series of questions, I'd like to ask you, could you please furnish for us a definition of woke? What does woke mean?
Well, sir, I mean, I think in popular parlance, there's a lot of people have a lot of different definitions for that word.
Your definition, please.
I don't know that I have a definition.
Okay. Do you find something particularly offensive about diversity, equity, and inclusion? Do you think it should be illegal?
I think how it's been applied, sir, seems to have been in violation of American civil rights law.
Okay, well, that's incorrect. But let me get on to my other questioning. This administration has made no secret of its hostility towards diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, shutting them down, not just at the State Department, but across the federal government. That's your prerogative, as you know. Even if many of us believe as a co-equal branch of government, we believe that it undermines our national security and weakens our diplomatic corps. But let's talk about the implications of your obsession with diversity, equity, and inclusion over diplomacy. As you well know, federal and foreign and civil service officers rotate assignments. A career official could have landed in a job focused on increasing recruitment that was required by law and retention of a diverse workforce through a standard assignment in a general cycle, which is hardly a political assignment. In fact, working to ensure that the department's workforce reflects the America it represents sounds very patriotic to me. It's an asset that the United States has. I want to ask you, before this massive firing took place, what safeguards were in place to protect career officers from being targeted for removal simply because they served in a portfolio this administration now deems politically undesirable?
So the functions, the offices and bureaus that were eliminated, some offices were eliminated, some offices were combined that were duplicative and
But what was the criteria?
Overlapping functions. If they were not sort of a core foreign policy mission of the United States, that's, I think, one of the #1 criteria, or if it was an office that no longer was relevant. All
right, well, let me go forward, if you don't mind, in the interest of time that we have, because I was getting a bit of word salad, couldn't figure out what you were saying. I know you to be an upstanding and lawful abiding citizen. Section 5403 of the 2022 NDAA strengthens recruitment of underrepresented groups, mandating outreach to universities, employee affinity groups, and expanding paid student internships, among other actions. But now, under Secretary Rubio's leadership, which is substantially different than Senator Rubio's leadership, employee affinity groups are not allowed to meet, outreach efforts are paused, and critical recruitment programs like the Payne Fellowship have now been terminated. When you talk about replacing diversity, equity, inclusion, has anyone been removed from the Franklin Fellowship program in the State Department?
I am not familiar with the membership of the different programs at the department and who's in them and who's not.
Okay, well, they have not. I hope you would look into that next time. Can you tell us more about the Franklin Fellowship program, on why that program has been protected and preserved? Isn't that a special interest group?
Sir, I could get back to you with information on that. My understanding is these affinity groups are sort of employee generated.
I'm being very specific about Franklin, the one group that has expanded during this time period.
My understanding is that's an affinity group that is founded by employees and whose membership is managed by those employees themselves. It's not a official State Department organization. It's my understanding. I might be wrong, but I don't think
your understanding is incorrect at this point. I hope you would refresh yourself on that. Section 504 of that bill requires that the Secretary of State to reward and advance officials that promote diversity and inclusion. But under Secretary Rubio, the department has abolished the performance evaluation criteria. Do you agree with that?
That was feedback we also got from a number of career foreign service officers, that they felt that their language skills, their foreign service skills were not being adequately considered for promotion, and that...
So I would ask you, why are you not carrying out the law? It's real simple. I've got a very basic line. To follow the law, this is the law. Will you respect the law?
Oh, well, absolutely, sir. If you want to let me know which particular law you think is not being faithfully executed, I'd be happy to look into that.
5404.
Okay. I'd be happy to look into that, sir.
Thank you, sir. I yield back at this time. Thank you for coming out.